Stop building AI automations, start building agentic workflows. Claude Code is completely changing the way systems are built. I run a six-figure AI agency. I've built hundreds of automations using no-code platforms like N8N, and I've sold these systems to multi-billion-dollar companies. But agentic workflows are fundamentally changing the way I run my business. No-code platforms eliminated the need to code with their visual interface, but now you don't even need that. With tools like Claude Code and Google Antigravity, you just describe what you want in plain language. You no longer have to think about multi-node workflows or even troubleshooting. The system figures itself out and corrects itself when something breaks. In this video, I'll show you how to use Claude Code to build better agentic workflows, convert an automation from N8N to code easily, and then we'll build a UGC pipeline for ad creatives that creates high-quality video in just a matter of seconds. If you want access to the agent that we built today and want to build a highly profitable personal brand with AI that prints clients, I'll leave a link in the description. So focus in, close all your open tabs, and let's build. Don't click off yet. If you were immediately overwhelmed by this N8N automation, this is one of the first reasons why agentic workflows are so powerful. This admittedly is confusing. There is a lot going on here. It took me months to learn how to build little systems like this. And so this is one of the main reasons for agentic workflows, because now instead of figuring out what each one of these nodes means and how to connect them all together, you can just speak to a tool like Claude Code using normal language. So today I want to take this automation that I had already built, which was designed to take a product image and turn it into UGC style ads, complete with B-roll and things like that, and turn this into an agentic workflow using Claude Code. So let me show you what the system makes, which will immediately bring up another reason why we need workflows.
I used to settle for lukewarm coffee on my morning hikes until I found this. This Yeti tumbler keeps my drinks ice cold for hours.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it should be already immediately pretty clear what is wrong with this video, right? She's clearly not holding the tumbler that we want. And we have some weird clips here where we get the actual product footage and we fade into her and this and whatever. It's just kind of a mess, right? And so I could spend a bunch of time going through here and troubleshooting and trying to figure out how to make this right, how to connect it, how to generate proper images and videos and all of that. But it is immediately, again, overwhelming. It is so much easier to work with systems like Claude Code to do the troubleshooting for us. For anyone who is new to this, let me just walk you through this at a very high level so you kind of just understand how the system works. When you get into agentic workflow building, understanding the system architecture is one of the most impactful things you can do. And this part will take me 20 seconds. So the first thing that happens is you submit a product image and the system analyzes that image to figure out what the heck the product is. Then it goes over to ChatGPT to generate a prompt for a UGC style image. It'll create something that looks kind of like this. And then this bottom agent down here is generating all of the prompts for all 8 of our individual scenes. And so I can just open this up here on the right. We can see this is the output. So shot 1 is a woman overlooking the trail. She looks into the camera and she says, I used to settle for lukewarm coffee on my morning hikes until I found this. And then we have the rest of the clips down here. So all the system is doing is taking those clips, generating the videos using VO3 or Kling 3.0, and then at the end here, it is stitching them all together using FFMPEG. So again, flows like this bring into reasons why we need workflows with Claude Code, because making all of these different API calls and stitching everything together can actually be done way more simply in code. Looking at it like this may make things a little bit clearer. And then over here is a feature that a lot of people who are in AI and automation who have been using tools like N8N may not even be aware of, which is called GitHub Actions. So if you've been scheduling automations inside of N8N, GitHub Actions actually takes the place of that, and now you can schedule your workflows totally for free. Don't worry, because if you've already been working inside of N8N, there's a really easy way to convert what you already have and not let all that work go to waste. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, come up here and just download this as a starting point. So now that some housekeeping is out of the way, let's hop into Antigravity and Claude Code and we can start actually building out this workflow. If you haven't downloaded Antigravity yet, just come over to antigravity.google, download this to your machine, sign in with your Google name and password. Here we are inside of Antigravity, and in order to get coding, we need to be inside of a folder. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to create a folder on my desktop and I'll just call this UGC ads. So one of the reasons that I like being inside of a IDE or vibe coding platform like Antigravity is because we'll be able to actually see all of the files and folders that the system creates. If you want to make sure you have Claude Code installed, just come over to the extensions here, search for Claude. It should be the first thing that pops up. You'll see Claude Code for VS Code over here. You can just go ahead and this is installing. And once this is installed, you basically have access to the Claude Code agents with this little guy up here in the top right. So the first thing that we need to get started is an actual image of our product. So I just searched for Yeti Tumbler. I think this pink one seems kind of cool. So I'm just going to go ahead, right click, save image as, come over to our desktop into our UGC as, and we can just call this Tumbler. Click save. And now what's pretty cool about the platforms is, like I said, if I come over into our files here, we can actually see we have this Tumbler already built into our project. The next thing I want to do is I just want to bring over that JSON file that we downloaded, because this is a really good starting point. It obviously had some issues, but now this is where Claude Code becomes so powerful, because we can be like, yo, Claude Code, how do we make this better? I'm going to talk to the system, tell it what we have, tell it where I want it to be, and let's see what we can create. In your folder now, you have a Sora add creator JSON. This was originally an automation workflow in N8N. I'm essentially trying to recreate this in code today, but I want to improve it and I want to make it better. The idea is that we feed it a product image, in our case, the image of the Tumbler. We generate multiple UGC clips with the same hero actor, as well as some B-roll footage of the product itself, and then we stitch all of those things together using FFmpeg. I think we can likely do this with Claude Sonnet instead of ChatGPT. We were using some third-party services for FFmpeg. We can just do this natively inside of code. Let me know how else we can improve this system to get the best results. So that might seem like I said a lot to the system, but really, if we're able to build an entire agentic workflow in just a couple of minutes by speaking to it in natural language, being thorough and detailed with your prompting is going to have the biggest effect on your final outcomes. So this just took a couple of seconds to analyze the JSON workflow, basically figure out what the current pipeline is, the image analysis, and how we generate the images and the scripts and things like that, and then basically what we can improve. So it wants to replace GPT-4o. You can tell this is an old automation of mine, so we want to upgrade it to be a little bit newer. We can basically just do this with Claude now so that we don't have to be jumping back and forth between different APIs. We can ditch Fal AI's FFmpeg service. We can use this with basically a local FFmpeg model just built into our machine. This does say to add audio, the big missing piece. I actually know that a lot of these video models will produce audio, so I'm going to let the system know about that. This is cool. It suggested we add captions. We can burn these in for short form video, which drives high engagement. One of the other advantages to code is being able to speed things up and do multiple tasks in parallel. So instead of having to go through things one by one, you can actually be generating all of your images and videos at the same time. This is really close. I do know that a lot of our video models, maybe we use Kling 3.0, which generates great audio, so we don't actually have to use another service like 11 Labs. Captions are great. I don't know that we need background music in this case. I don't think we should use cross dissolves. I think we should just have hard cuts between scenes, and let's start with that. So I'm going to send this off, and let me show you the service that we're going to be using today. This is a service called Kai AI, and basically this has access to a whole bunch of image and video models. It's really the cheapest way to go about doing things right now. So there are a couple models that I want to make sure we have access to. One is Nano Banana 2, and I also think that Kling 3.0 is like pretty cost effective right now and easy to use. So I'm going to open up Nano Banana 2, and I already have Kling 3.0 up right here. So what's really great about this site is you can make all your different API calls to a single location. And so I can just come into the API documentation right here, and this basically tells you everything you need to know. And what's great about Claude Code is I can literally just give it this page and it will figure it out for me. You really don't need to understand what anything is here. So I can just come up here and go to copy page, come back into Antigravity. Let's go ahead and use Kai AI, which is great. For the reference actor image to keep the same, I want to use Nano Banana. It's actually already suggesting that we use Kai AI because that's what I was originally using. So I may not actually even need to give it any of that documentation. For captions, what style am I going? Bold and centered, great. Big, bold, white text, center 2 to 3 words at a time. With highlight color on keywords, sure, let's see how it does with that. And I might as well just give it the API documentation just so it has it. It should speed things up. Here's the API documentation for Nano Banana 2 on Kai AI as well as Kling. Literally just going to paste that in, and then I'll come back over to Kling, go into the API documentation, copy this as well, paste that in there too, just so it really has access to everything. So this came back with a full plan based off of my responses, gave me an indication of the caption style that it's going to do. So it also identified from the Kling API docs this Kling elements parameter, which lets you define the hero actor as a reusable element for character consistency. So what's really cool is you can just use the same character over and over again. Gave me some indication of what the caption style will be, and then some verification. How do we actually check to make sure things are looking good? You have a couple of options. You can do yes and auto accept. You can yes and manually approve all of the edits along the way. Or if you're unhappy with this, you can just keep planning. I'm going to go with auto accept, let Claude do its thing, and see what we can cook up with. One of the reasons why Claude Code is so freaking cool is because it actually has this little to-do list and you can see it working. So stage 1 is Claude Vision Analysis, identify what the product image is. Claude 2 is the hero actor, reference image generation. Stage 3 is parallel video generation. Stage 4, downloading the clip. Stage 5, adding the captions. And stage 6 is putting everything all together. This is the reason that I wanted to basically use Antigravity to show you this today instead of Claude Code in the terminal, is that we have access to all of the files over here in the left side. So if we want to open up any of the code or things like that, or take a look at the outputs, we have access to it right here. One of the other main reasons to use something like Claude Code instead of N8N is troubleshooting. I tell everyone that troubleshooting is 90% of the job, and we can see here that Claude goes, there's a bug in this script, it's already this type of function, it's doing it wrong. Let me just go ahead and fix that for you. If you're running into issues or errors in N8N, you'd have to go and figure out what's wrong and troubleshoot everything yourself, but now code can just do that for you. This took a couple minutes and it built out the full project structure for me, all of the files and folders. Basically, it showed us what the key improvements were from before and after. So instead of doing 3 different models for LLM calls, we're just using Claude Sonnet. So instead of using VO3 for video generation and batching things out with 3-second intervals, we're just using Kling. We're using Kling elements for actor consistency. We're using native Kling audio. We're using baked in captions, which we didn't even have before. We're using a local FFMPEG model to stitch everything together rather than making another API call. And we're handling errors automatically using Claude Code. There are 2 more things that we need to do to get this up and running smoothly. First, we need a couple of API keys. So I'm just going to open this example file, and right here what we need is an API key for Anthropic or Claude. We need an API key for Kai AI, and right here it wants us to have an API key for the site called ImageBB, which is basically a place to publicly host all of your image and video files, so that way the systems have access to them. But I know that Kai also has a place where you can upload your videos and images for public access. So rather than introducing a third API key here, why don't we just go ahead and narrow it down to 2? So over in here, Kai basically has in their documents this file upload API. So if you're starting to get into automation or code building or anything, understanding API documentation, how to read it, where to find it, all of those things will really be to your benefit. I'm just going to click copy this page, come over here, and I can say, I know Kai API actually has a place for you to upload files publicly, so let's use that instead of ImageBB, so we only need 2 API keys. And I'm just going to paste in all of that documentation right there, and then Claude will go ahead and update the code for me to reference this new endpoint. So in the meantime, I'm going to create a new environment file, just .env, we will call it. And basically what an environment file is a place for you to store your API keys secretly, safely, securely that no other systems have access to. So I can just type in Anthropic, API key, hit enter. I'll hit enter one more time, and I know I need this Kai AI API key equals, and now I will show you where you can find both of these. Since we're already inside of Kai AI, inside your account on the left hand, we have API keys. Super easy to create. All you do is click create API key. I'll just call this UGC ads, click create, and you can just copy and paste this API key over into your environment file. So I'm just going to paste that in there, and we have our API key all good to go. I'm going to delete this after the video is posted, so don't worry about me. So next, I'm going to come over to platform.claude.com to get my Anthropic API key. Still, in this left panel here, we have API keys. Same situation. Go ahead, click create API key, and we can just call this UGC ads as well. Click add. We'll have a new API key ready to go. I can copy and paste this back into the environment file. Click save, and now that's really all we need. Great, this says this removed ImageBB entirely, product images, now upload to Kai's free file hosting. Just needed the 2 API keys, which I just gave it, and I can say, I just created an environment file that has the 2 API keys for you. Great, both keys are loaded. It asks me if we are ready to run this. Yes, go ahead, kick this off. So while this is kicking off, if we go ahead and we look back at this, the thing I wanted to talk to you about is GitHub Actions. So GitHub is super, super cool. A lot of people I know who have been building automations don't really know about this feature, but this gives you a way to automate all of your workflows just based off of code. GitHub actually has a way for you to run and schedule your tasks natively inside the platform. Totally free, all open source, easy. So the first thing I'm going to do, inside my GitHub account, I'll just come over to repositories. I'll create a new repository. Really, Claude Code can do this for you, but I'm just going to do it here manually. So you can see, we can just go ahead, call this UGC ads. Great. I'm going to set this to private. Going to create the repository, and we are almost all good to go. If you are going to be running anything using GitHub Actions on a schedule, GitHub is going to need access to your API keys. They'll still be private. They'll still be stored securely. All you have to do is come into settings down here and come over into this left panel where it says secrets and variables. You can come down into Actions for GitHub Actions, and what we want is we want to add new environment secrets. These will look familiar to you. So what we want to do is we want to do the same thing. You can see I already have some saved here. So the Anthropic API key that we just created, we can come in here, go into our environment file, copy our Anthropic API key and paste it in, and then just click Add Secret. And we need one more for Kai AI. I have this Kai_API_key, and the same thing, we're just going to copy this over to GitHub. So now we have access to this via our GitHub repo, so we can use GitHub Actions. And now the reason you might want to do this is if you have a product, you may want multiple videos going out. So you can auto-publish to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts or wherever, right? So instead of just having the system create a single video, because it's kind of a waste, what you can do is now we can start doing things like dropping multiple product images into the single folder and say, hey, randomly select one of these images, create a variation on the scene or the topic or the hook angle or things like that, start generating new clips every day. And if we want, we could run this 10 times a day. And what we can do is just have like a brand new insane ad machine pumping out content 24/7. So like I have this pink one here, but maybe I want to have access to a brown Tumblr, right? So I can save this image, we can say Tumblr brown, and if we scroll down, maybe let's just go ahead and grab this red one since we liked it before. Tumblr red. Okay, so this just finished. Let's check out the ad it created. It's probably not perfect, but we can always go ahead and make really easy adjustments from here.
You guys, I found the perfect tumbler that actually keeps drinks cold all day.
This Yeti tumbler isn't just pretty, it's seriously the most functional piece I own.
The handle makes it so easy to carry, and look at this gorgeous pink color.
Ice stays frozen for literally hours. No condensation.
So pretty cool. There are still a few little issues, but like we didn't really tell Claude like how to prompt it specifically. Like it just figured it out. So if we were to go in and work on the prompting a little bit more, I think we can get incredibly accurate results from this. So let's go ahead. Let's get this live up on GitHub running with Actions so that we can create new content every single day. And then I'll just show you how I would go about plussing this up or making this better over time. So remember, we set up this UGC ads repo with our actions all ready to go. And we could just come back into Antigravity and I could say, I want to host all of these files on GitHub and I want to use GitHub Actions to run this every single day so that we can create new UGC style content every single morning. And I'm just going to paste in the link to the GitHub repository. And so while this is cooking up, there's a couple of things you might want to think about on how you can improve this over time or really expand this out. So instead of doing this once every morning, maybe you could have this run 5 times a day. You could start thinking about using different UGC heroes or UGC actors. You could start thinking about saving your clips for long-term use. So that way, instead of having to recreate things every day, now you can start mixing and matching different A-roll or UGC clips with B-roll, different environments, different backgrounds. So there's so much that you can do with this. You can even have it set to generate new hooks and start figuring out which hooks are performing the best. So you can start to see how this becomes really, really powerful the more data you get. So the more content you create, the more data you get around what's working and what's not working, the more you can refine the system to build better, more effective, more highly engaging content over time. If you'd like to see a video where I use the new auto research skill to do just that and improve a real TikTok account over time, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make that video next. Cool, so this went ahead and asked me which product image should it use? Should it rotate through multiple images, use a fixed one, or accept an input parameter? So I'll just say other, and I'm just gonna say it should randomly choose one of our 3 Yeti product images. So now we can actually have a mix and a variety, and if we wanted to, we could expand the product line. It doesn't just have to be tumblers, it could be something else too. So it took a couple seconds. All of our code is now pushed to our GitHub repository. If we go over into Actions, we can see we have the daily UGC action all set up. It hasn't run yet, so there's actually no history, but once this runs, we'll get a history of our workflow here. So I hope you can see why it's so powerful to convert your existing automations into agentic workflows. It's so much easier to adapt, grow, scale, troubleshoot using Claude Code and using natural language as opposed to figuring out how to do everything inside of a platform like N8N. If you made it this far, you're obviously interested in using industry-leading AI tools. If you want to learn how to use those tools to grow a highly profitable personal brand that prints clients in 49 days, just check the link in the description. If you want 8 of my best tips on how to use Google Antigravity better than 99% of other people out there, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there.